tonight, tackling the variant. Local leaders are saying the more contagious strain of COVID-19 could already be here. What they're doing about it.
And help is on the way. How tens of millions of dollars is being used to help Minnesota businesses impacted by the pandemic.
Plus, making preparations. Still 6 months out, the plan Grandma's Marathon is putting in place for this summer.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Baki.
And I'm Anthony Mann. Thanks for joining us. Duluth City leaders met today to provide an update on their response to COVID so far and what lies ahead for further vaccine distribution.
As CBS3's Kendall Jarbo tells us, they also discussed the new coronavirus variant in Minnesota and what people need to know about it.
St. Louis County leaders say overall COVID cases are down and fewer people are getting tested. Even still, they're asking people to stay vigilant in helping stop the spread. Public Health Division Director Amy Westbrook says about 4% of the county's community has been vaccinated so far. As a public health system, the county has administered about 1,000 doses. If you include the hospitals and pharmacies, that number is closer to 8,300. This week, 5 cases of a more contagious but not more deadly COVID variant were detected in Minnesota's metro area. And Westbrook thinks it is likely more widespread than just those 5 cases.
We're anticipating that it is more prevalent across the state than just those 5 cases. Because it is a variant that's infectious.
Hospital leaders say the vaccine is still effective against the variant, but it can be easily spread. Because of the variant, St. Luke's is no longer allowing visitors at the hospital with some exceptions. Essential Health East Market President Dr. John Pryor says they expect to see the variant in Duluth if it's not here already, but it hasn't been officially detected yet. Pryor says even though businesses are opening up, they're still asking the community stay cautious to help stop the spread.
Thanks, Kendall. And tonight at 10, we'll hear about who qualifies for the next phase of vaccine distribution and what the city needs before they can be administered.
Volunteers are needed to help vaccinate the community in St. Louis County. They expect to need more staff once the vaccine is available to more people. Both registered nurses and the general public can apply. We have a link to sign up on our website.
After criticism over the slow rollout of the coronavirus vaccine, Wisconsin's governor said he expects more doses to become available in the state. According to Governor Evers, Wisconsin and other states have been required to reserve a certain number of doses, but after talking with Vice President Mike Pence yesterday, they no longer have to do that. Evers believes this is a move in the right direction.
It means that we need to set up much more larger groups to be brought in. We can do that. It was a matter of making sure that we had enough second doses. That's been taken care of. I heard it from the vice president. I heard it from the president-elect. We're going under that assumption.
Evers added the process will be somewhat clunky due to how many doses the state has to give out.
Yeah, let's head over and check in on the weather with Dave. Dave, there's a lot of color on that map behind you.
Yeah, and the worst of the colors, if there's such a thing, is to the south and west of our region. We are not bearing the brunt of this low because it is sliding to the south of our area. So our friends in southwestern Minnesota are dealing with a blizzard warning tonight through tomorrow at about 6 o'clock. And down towards the Twin Cities, especially the southern suburbs, winter storm warning there till about 6 o'clock tomorrow. Our neck of the woods, many of us are covered by a winter weather advisory in effect until 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. And the tip of our Arrowhead in Minnesota and the Upper Peninsula, not much to worry about there. Not much snow is going to fall there, unfortunately, for snow fans. And for the rest of us, now snow totals have been dialing down steadily here. So we're not looking at that much, but we should get something. There is the little snow coming through from the low in our area tonight and through tomorrow afternoon for Minnesota, and perhaps into Saturday morning for the south shore of Wisconsin and Michigan. So our short-term forecast says 60% chance you'll get a little bit tonight, and 40 to 50% chance it'll continue through portions of Friday. Continuing tomorrow will be the warm spell with a high of 34. But once we get into Saturday, it will start to cool. And I'll talk about if it's going to be a big Arctic outbreak or just a little dial down coming up in a few more minutes.
Thanks, Dave. Peace and unity. That's what Minnesota Governor Tim Walz is calling for ahead of next week's inauguration. Today, he brought that message to Duluth. CBS3's Emma Quinn was at the event and has more on the message Walz and other local politicians are trying to spread.
With a statewide tour, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz aims to encourage people across Minnesota to reflect on the insurrection which happened in our nation's capital last week.
Has frayed this country. It's frayed us politically. It's frayed us economically. It's been difficult.
Walz's calm, civility, and peace tour brought him to Duluth's Vietnam and Korean War memorials Thursday afternoon, hoping reflecting on our nation's history will help move us forward.
The choice is for us to make the choices that previous generations made, to figure out a way to get together, to solve the problem and move forward.
Duluth Mayor Emily Larson and newly elected City Council President Renee Van Nett were in attendance to show their support.
It's up to the leaders and individuals to make sure that our neighbors are safe. And I think the tour that he's working on does that in a broader perspective.
As a former history teacher, Walz says he isn't sure how the recent events will impact our nation's future, but Walz added he supports President Trump's impeachment.
If there's things that are allowed to happen that are clearly against the principles of the country, there has to be an accountability.
That as a country, it's time to set aside our differences and work together for the better of the country.
You're not going to get your way every time, but the public expects us to get something done.
Today's event was the third and final visit Governor Walz made during this week's tour.
Minnesota businesses hit hard by the pandemic can now breathe a sigh of relief as tens of millions of dollars in aid money is on the way. Governor Tim Walz announced today the state's Department of Revenue issued $67 million in relief payments to nearly 3,900 eligible businesses. The relief payments are part of legislation passed by state lawmakers last month. The department used sales tax filings to determine which businesses were eligible. Officials say the checks have been mailed and business owners can expect to receive them in the coming days.
A bipartisan group of Iron Range lawmakers is firing back against proposed anti-copper nickel mining legislation. Today, Duluth Senator Jen McEwen brought forward the Prove It First legislation. It would require scientific proof a similar mine has operated somewhere else in the United States for at least 10 years and has been closed for another 10 years without causing any pollution. If passed, it could slow progress on the Polymet project in Hoyt Lakes. Now, a group of 7 state representatives and senators is saying the legislation is a thinly veiled effort to thwart new mining operations in Minnesota's mineral-rich mining region. We are now less than 6 months away from the highly anticipated 45th annual Grandma's Marathon.
Race officials announced today they're working hard to come up with a COVID-19 modified race plan to ensure an in-person race weekend. CBS3's Leanne Valdez lays out what some of those changes are.
It's been a big challenge.
As runners prepare for the 45th Grandma's Marathon, those working behind the scenes seem to be running one of their own.
Because we're basically redesigning the entire Grandma's Marathon weekend this year.
Thursday, race officials released changes for the highly anticipated race weekend.
Well, we're putting together the best plan we possibly can.
Grandmas will not be increasing the in-person capacity for this year's races because of COVID-19 concerns. In October, they only allowed half of the usual number of runners to register.
This means we will not be reopening registration for in-person participants, as we hoped we could when registration opened back in October.
Only 10,000 total runners can sign up to run all 3 races. So far, 9,500 are registered. The public relations director for Grandma's Marathon says the decision wasn't easy but necessary.
We believe committing to these field numbers now allows us the necessary time to continue working with the appropriate people, both at the local and the state level, on approval of our COVID-modified race plan ahead of June.
When it comes to other grandma-related activities like the Race Expo, Spaghetti Dinner, and the post-race celebratory concerts, officials say the plans for those are fluid.
There's so many different ways to approach it that as a staff, these are very long discussions that we're having weekly at this point.
For now, Grandma's Marathon staff say they are keeping their heads up, staying relaxed, and taking things one step at a time.
We're all confident we'll find a way.
If you're still interested in taking part in Grandma's Marathon Weekend, you can head to our website for more information.
The city of Duluth is hosting 3 virtual meetings asking for input on upcoming street projects. The first will be held at 4 o'clock on Tuesday night when they'll discuss projects in the western part of the city. The second will be later that night at 7 p.m. for the central area. The last will be at 4 o'clock next Thursday afternoon for the east area projects. At each meeting, staff will review the projects in the focus area, answer questions, and accept feedback. You can find more information on the meetings at CBS3Duluth.com.
Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, Glensheen will be reopening this weekend, but with an unexpected twist. We have the details next.
Today's record high is 51 degrees from 1894. Today's top temp of 33 was warmer than normal. It will cool back towards normal beginning Saturday, but from now through Friday, we're looking at that snow chance. Not really that big as far as the snow totals go, though, and I'll show you the latest estimates on that coming up after our break.
For coverage that matters most to you, tune to CBS 3.
Welcome to Medical Insight, a weekly healthcare feature brought to you by the experts at Essentia Health. Here's your host, Louis St. George.
Who will advocate for you during a time of serious illness or injury? Today on Medical Insight, Essentia Health's Wanda Paulson and Dr. John Dagalow talk about advanced care planning.
Advanced care planning is the best way we have found to incorporate an individual's goals, values, and beliefs into the care that we provide. It's a way to think about, talk about, and write down your wishes for future health care if ever a time happened where you couldn't speak for yourself. A lot of people think that it's for those that are very frail or elderly, or that we expect something could happen to them in the near future, but it's really important for everybody to start having those conversations.
It's important to get a signed healthcare directive on file. Also, be sure to review it regularly in case your wishes change.
In a way, when we look at advanced care planning, it's kind of having some insurance about your hopes, wishes, things that are important to you being respected. Advanced care planning is an important thing that we all have to think about, because all of us in the course of our lives at some point are going to have a serious illness. If you're able to put these things down, that really helps take the burden off family members that may have to deal with decisions for you in a time of crisis.
Essentia offers advanced care planning classes online. Learn more at essentiahealth.org. For Medical Insight, I'm Louis St. George.
To learn more about this and other health topics, visit essentiahealth.org/medical insight.
Our renewal by Andersen windows were installed in 2001.
That was nearly 20 years ago, and they're high-quality windows. They have brought our beautiful view into our room. They're easy to care for.
The beauty of these windows has enhanced the beauty of our home. It's not just the energy efficiency, but it has made our place look a lot nicer. They have just been a good overall investment.
It's an excellent product. The service we received was excellent. What more could you ask for?
What's up with you, Mom? Out of nowhere, you quit your job last month and want to talk about it?
It's complicated.
Whoever told you that life would be easy, I promise that person was lying to you.
This new side gig of yours is raising questions the CIA don't want asked.
I don't work for them anymore.
What are you? Some kind of ex-cop?
I'm the one you call when you can't call 911.
CBS 3 News is brought to you by Duluth Casino. CBS 3 Weather is brought to you by Heritage Window and Door. Now, the CBS 3 Duluth Weather Max forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Well, that low pressure system, it's well to our south, so the worst of the weather is down around places like Wilmer and towards Mankato. Up here in our part of the country, some of the northern tips of our region aren't worrying about anything at all. That's the northern parts of Minnesota and the Upper Peninsula. For the rest of us, though, we are looking at a winter weather advisory in effect through tomorrow afternoon. And, of course, the advice the National Weather Service is giving us is even just a little bit of snow, and that's what it's looking like we're going to get here, could make the roads slippery, so travel cautiously tonight through through tomorrow and perhaps even into Saturday morning for the South Shore, where lake effect could make the snow last a little bit longer. We'll show you the latest map for the snow totals in just a bit, but right now we show you the current conditions in Virginia. There's Highway 53 as it goes past Uptown Virginia, and there is a little fresh snow on the roads there, so the snow is light, but it is coming down over a good swath of our region, and again could continue through tomorrow afternoon. Right now, though, at the airport in Duluth, current conditions tell us it's 32 degrees, 88% for the relative humidity, with an east wind picking up towards 17 miles per hour. Air pressure's at 999 millibars, 29.5 inches of mercury on the low side as that low pressure system works to the south of our area. Current temps go from 32 in Watersmeet to 34 in Ironwood and to 34 in Hurley as well, and stays that way through Odana into Ashland. A little bit warmer towards La Pointe and towards Hayward. 34 is also the current temp in Superior. We have 32 from Moose Lake through Barnum and into Cloquet and Carleton, and 32 is clinging to the lake shore as well. Lower 30s also prevalent here for the Vermilion and Mesabi ranges and border country too. Warmer than normal, and this warmer than normal spell lasts through tomorrow, but starts to dial back once we get into Saturday. Here's the latest Doppler satellite map for our region, and keep in mind the center of lower pressure is well to our south and our west, but its winds are whipping up through our area here to the tune of 17 miles per hour and creating what looks like lighter snows now for parts of the UP, much of northwestern Wisconsin, and chunks of the Minnesota Arrowhead, including the head of the lakes. Once we get done with this system here, and it may take a little while to get through because we have the bigger low centered to our south, but there is a trough of lower pressure connected by an occluded front to our northwest, so all of this network of snow-making potential has to come through the area, and there's a 60 to 80% chance we'll get many more hours of this. And by the time it leaves by tomorrow night for most of us, well, now I'm thinking northern Minnesota, north of Duluth and towards Grand Rapids, maybe in the zone that doesn't get much of anything, a trace to perhaps 3 inches. And then for the head of the lakes, east central Minnesota, northwestern Wisconsin, and the UP, 3 to 6 inches if you push it. Though at this stage of the game, I'm leaning more towards the 3 than the 6. And of course, that's good news for some and bad news for others. Now, how's the news fare tonight for Minnesota's forecast? Well, temperature-wise, it tells us the headlines say 25 to 32. 60% chance for the snow, just in case your town hasn't seen it yet. And winds could go towards 20 miles per hour, especially on the Minnesota side of life. In Wisconsin, winds a little slower, low temps a little higher, 29 to 31, but an 80% chance for the snow in that neck of the woods. Tomorrow, 70% shot it'll continue in Wisconsin and Michigan with highs in the mid to upper 30s. For Minnesotans, low to mid 30s for the temperatures and a 50-50 chance for more snows. Eyeing up the extended forecast, the best chance for the snow is Friday, but there is a chance it could linger for the South Shore with lake effect through Saturday. Stays cloudy for Saturday, breaks up a little bit on Sunday. You'll watch the temperature trends, though, go from 34 on Friday into the 20s for the weekend, Anthony. Okay. And then for Martin Luther King Jr. Day, pretty close to normal at 12 above for a low, 23 for the high. Coldest day of the week, or at least coldest morning of the week ahead, will be 5 above on Wednesday. Chilly. But we know it could be around 30 below this time of year.
Sure can, yeah.
It's going to cool down, but not drastically so.
Okay, and you know, I don't even mind a little cool down after a snowstorm because, hey, then you don't get so hot shoveling, right?
Yeah, and it's easier to move the lighter, fluffier snows than that gloppy oatmeal stuff.
That's a good point as well. Thanks, Dave.
If you're wishing the holiday season wasn't over just yet, well, we have some good news for you. Glensheen Mansion is reopening this weekend with an extra surprise. The historic mansion will keep their holiday decor on display through the month of March. They're calling it the Never-Ending Christmas. They made the decision after asking the community for feedback on their Facebook page. Director of Glensheen, Dan Hartman, says seeing Christmas at Glensheen is a Northland tradition.
And I think for a lot of our guests who come to Glensheen, Christmas is like that big season for them. A lot of families in Duluth, this is a traditional annual stop, and a lot of folks miss that.
Hartman says with all the free time the staff has had in the past few weeks, they have been able to create a few new Christmas experiences for the guests.
Still ahead in sports, you're looking at a live look of Hibbing Memorial Arena, one of the many places we'll have hockey highlights from tonight on Thursday Night Faceoff. Kelly is in with a preview of tonight's action coming up next.
Move snow with your new John Deere from Duluth Lawn and Sport.
CBS3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac. You're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler.
The modern farmhouse look is here to stay, and we have it for less at Slumberland Furniture. Use a beige or light gray sofa as your base to build on. Add home-style pillows and unique farmhouse accessories. Get your current look for less at Slumberland Furniture.
It's the season for Stream and the perfect time to power up all your devices with Extreme Internet. Call today and save with prices as low as $19.99 a month for 1 year. Go dashing through your shows with amazing speeds from 60 meg up to 1 gig. Powerful in-home Wi-Fi and 99.99% network reliability. Enjoy the gift of high-speed entertainment for as low as $19.99 a month for 1 year. Dial 844-EXTREME2.
Be smart. Be active. Be confident. Vision Pro Optical is here for you, specializing in eye exams, glasses, contacts, and billing your insurance. Serving the Northland for more than 30 years with you as our focus. Visit visionprooptical.com for hours and location details. Vision Pro Optical. Be and be seen.
Heart attacks and strokes happen, even in the midst of COVID-19. And at least one will occur while you're watching this. Heart attacks and strokes are medical emergencies. If you experience symptoms of a heart attack or stroke, do not delay seeking care. Call 911 immediately. Hospitals are prepared and can safely treat you. Visit cdc.gov/coronavirus to learn more.
This year's been just a huge year. We've had everything going on with the pandemic. It's hard to not have your heart go out to those people, the millions that have been impacted by that. That's why we do what we do, to try and keep people in the know. What's going on with this? When is it going to end? When's the vaccine going to be here? How is this impacting you? Where are resources to help you get through the pandemic and keep you and your family safe through all of this?
For coverage that matters most to you, tune to live local CBS3.
Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear. Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Incredible savings on mattresses during the January mattress sale at Slumberland Furniture. Start your year off with a great night's sleep. Get a Sealy Memory Foam Queen mattress for $349. Comes conveniently in a box. The January mattress sale at Slumberland.
Welcome to the Kelly Clarkson Show!
Now, CBS3 Sports with Kelly Hinson.
Well, some kind of exciting news going forward for hockey. A limited number of people will soon be able to attend University of Minnesota Duluth hockey games in person for the first time since March of last year. According to deck leaders, the team's invited guests, defined as student athletes, family, and friends, can start attending games at Amsoil Arena tomorrow night. Deck officials say they hope to be able to safely allow more spectators over the coming weeks and months. Safety precautions will include mask wearing, physical and social distancing, routine sanitation, and cleaning. The UMD women's hockey team will take on Ohio State starting tomorrow night. And tonight on the My9 Sports Network, it is the beginning of high school hockey. Cloquet Esco Carleton will welcome in Grand Rapids for the first boys hockey game of the 2021 season. It is a rematch of last year's Section 7-7A first round playoff game. Grand Rapids managed to come away with a 3-0 shutout back then. Puck drop is over on My9 Sports at 7:30 p.m. And on top of the My9 game, we'll have 5 more games featured tonight here at 10 right on CBS3 in Thursday Night Faceoff, including a big rivalry game to begin the year as Duluth East clashes with Duluth Denfeld. Also, Hermantown will cross the bridge to face Superior. And finally, in girls action, the Mirage will travel to play Hibbing Chisholm. And highlights of all those games will be coming up tonight at 10. And it's almost showtime at Lambeau Field. The Packers will begin the playoffs in less than 48 hours in Green Bay. There's nothing quite like football in January at Lambeau. And for the first time this season, they'll welcome in some fans to the stands. 6,000 season ticket holders will fill the outdoor lower bowl. And when tickets went on sale this week, they lasted only minutes before completely selling out. So it could feel a little bit more normal on Saturday afternoon when they welcome the Rams into town.
It'll be big. I feel like, having a crowd in the stands is bring a extra energy, and for us to be able to have home field advantage in the playoff, it's just going to turn us up even more.
More fun. It feel like normal when you have, fans out there cheering and loud. But yeah, it's going to bring a little extra juice to the stadium. But we know we still have to bring our own.
The forecast for kickoff has temps in the mid-30s with a small chance of snow. And it's January 14th, and I've been waiting a long time to talk about the return to Minnesota Wild hockey. And tonight is finally the night. The Wild get back to play on the road, taking on the LA Kings. Puck drop is a late one at 9 p.m.
As for the team, I thought we had a great camp. It was up pace and a lot of speed involved with it, and ready to get things going. It's been a long time for us, and to get to go into LA and start on the road and have a week together as well in the hotel, that'll be good for the team.
And former Bulldog Carson Soucy and the Wild take on the other former Bulldogs, Alex Iafallo and Mikey Anderson, and the Los Angeles Kings tonight. Other guys on opening night rosters in the NHL from UMD, Justin Falk suited up for the Blues last night, and Neil Pionk will suit up tonight for the Winnipeg Jets. A few other guys such as Dylan Sandberg and Hunter Miska are on NHL taxi squads on standby in case of positive COVID-19 tests or other injuries. And Dom Toninato is on IR, and a trio of players are in COVID reserve according to league protocols. That is going to do it tonight. We're going to have hockey tonight. Kristen, Tony, I'll send it back to you.
All right, thanks, Kelly. Well, this January is known as Human Trafficking Prevention Month. And tonight on the CBS3 News at 10, we hear from one local Superior girl who started a fundraiser to support victims of human trafficking.
Ice cream maker Ice Cream Jubilee is out with new inauguration-themed flavors just in time for the start of Joe Biden's presidency.
Two of the flavors reflect Biden's love of the classics. The company says vanilla chocolate chip is Biden's favorite flavor. Cup of Joe speaks for itself. It's a creamy, coffee-flavored ice cream. They also have flavors honoring Vice President-elect Kamala Harris. You can visit the Ice Cream Jubilee website to order and have the flavors shipped right to your home.
I will never turn down ice cream. Dave, the weather's been kind of warm. It's been making me want ice cream for January. That's pretty rare.
It is rare, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could eat it 12 months a year. Sometimes you can tell. All right, let's talk about the snow chances. They're still out there, but snow totals, frankly, have dialed down. Much of northern Minnesota and the UP may only get a trace to 3 inches, 3 to 6 for the rest of us. And then our extended forecast shows we get into the weekend, temperatures will cool down.
See you at 10.
Change the future.